Excellent!
What's up guys, welcome back to another garage worklog. These are kind of spotty production value videos that I do to show you my progress in my garage slash studio, which I've kind of all built from scratch. I am not by any means an expert when it comes to construction or carpentry or anything like that, but I like DIY stuff. So with that being the theme, I have two projects I'm going to try to get done today. One is going to be mounting a light from the ceiling via a pulley system. That should be kind of fun. The other one is a pretty simple solution for actually mounting some little ball head camera mounts around my set so I can easily connect cameras to those rather than having to use this solution like I'm using up here, which is a clamp with a $2,000 camera set to it. That's perfectly sturdy and adequate and nothing can go wrong there. Anyway, but before I get onto that stuff, there are a couple projects I'm working on that I was going to post this weekend. They're not quite done though. So I spent most of the weekend benchmarking this system right here, or at least the past few days. This is the $3,500 system, and it is absolutely a beast. It's really, really fast. I have some benchmarks to share for that and all that good stuff. It's looking pretty too. Pretty? Yeah. Although the RGB lighting isn't quite what I had hoped it would be, at least as far as controlling it. Anyway, of course, more on that video when it comes out. I also have this kit of memory over here from a Vexir, although it doesn't look that great in this light right now, but who cares. It is fancy though, because it's got the plasma and the tubes at the top. And I am kind of stoked on this memory because I think it matches pretty nicely with this motherboard that I use on my test bed. What do you guys think? So my ongoing goal for out here in the work area has been to get stuff up off the ground. Why? Well, that's where the dogs like to hang out, like Hero is demonstrating right now. The dogs hang out down there, and every once in a while, you know, they hear something and they go tearing out. This has happened in several of my videos, as well as some live streams. They go running across right here, so I try to keep stuff like all this nonsense off the floor if I can, and give them a clear path to run if that happens to be something that they want to do. The other reason is just for cleaning purposes. It always gets messy out here. There's a lot of mess over there in the corner. We're not going to look at that. But for that purpose, I want to get the lights up off the floor, and I also want to provide myself with means of recording from up above, because I like the top-down look. For that reason, I of course built this entire structure up here with, you know, I got my control panel with switches so I can just turn the lights on and off. To stand on my tiptoes, but you know, it makes things easier to turn lights on. Now there is lights. And then of course the overhead camera stuff, because you know, top down is a great view for doing live streams or just recording stuff, so I like to record down to what's going on this table. But I want something a little bit more permanent that I can just slap on there and slap off of there, rather than of course this aforementioned clamp solution. So I recently picked up a new ball head. I got this one obviously because it's fancier than the others. Anyway, this was on Amazon. Link is in the description if you guys want to check it out. It's pretty heavy duty, and I think it was only like $8 or something like that. I hope I'm not wrong about that. Might have been $15. However much it was, link is in the description. So that you can mount with a 3/8" screw, which is a standard screw size if you deal with photography. In photography, you actually typically have the 1/4" thread, which is represented by the top half of this thing. That's a 1/4". And then you also have 3/8" threading, which is the thicker part there at the bottom. Now you can buy camera gear that has this type of threading on it and stuff, and it tends to be very expensive, and I've gotten a few of those, but I found that by just heading over to my local Ace Hardware, I was able to get some of these carriage bolts, named so because they're used to construct carriages originally. That's probably not true. But those will thread right into there. It's a standard threading, so that's cool. I've already tested it out. And much less expensive than buying the actual stuff that's like made for camera work. So I'm basically going to punch these through some 2x4s and then mount this on the other side of it, and then I might use some washers. I got some hex nuts on there to hold everything in place. The other project, the one that's a little bit more fancy, is going to be using simple machines like pulleys. I'm actually using lots of simple machines. I got simple machines in the pulleys here. Ta-da! I have simple machines in, I think this counts as a lever. It might not count as a lever. Does that count as a lever? Anyway, it's a hinge. I'm going to call this a lever, even though it's probably not a lever. That's another simple machine, though. Even my screws over here are simple machines, because, see going around the outside there? That's an inclined plane. Haha! You guys didn't think it was going to be like a basic physics class here or anything. Moving on, though. Got some rope to tie everything up and pass through the pulleys. Got some cleats as well as some rope loops so I can loop the rope where I need to loop the rope. That's probably enough exposition. There's all my hardware. Let's get to work. So that went really well, actually. Not only did I blind guess where the stud was and hit it up there, that was awesome, but it's like hanging down perfectly right here as far as where it should be to hit me when I'm talking to the camera over there and everything. It's just kind of swaying loosely right now, but you know, it settles down to right about where it should. I can still undo this clasp here so I can move it up and down, give it a little bit of repositioning if I need to. And now I just gotta set up the pulley system. Got my pulley mounted, like so. Took me a couple tries to find the stud this time. And now the rope. It's a pulley. I got the AC on now, sorry about the noise, but I think this project is looking pretty much complete. It's mounted to the ceiling, hanging down right there, hinge at the top, rope goes up to the pulley, over to a little loop right there, and then down to my cleat. I think I'm gonna name my cleat Cletus. You should always name your cleat. Cletus is a good name. Anyway, so I can just undo this little guy here. So now with the rope going up to the pulley, and as you go squeaky squeaky, and it pulls it all the way up. Hold on. Hold on, I can't do this while I'm filming. And now light is tucked away up at the ceiling. Hooray! That's actually really like how that turned out. I was gonna make it fancier with like 2 attachment points at the ceiling and stuff, but I think it's totally good for now. Alright, let's move on to job number 2. Okay, there it is. 3/8 inch bolt going through to the ball head. I can still get in here to twist this to loosen the ball head, although I'm kind of worried the camera's... Alright, so that allows me to move the camera around and position it however I need it. And then, of course, I would probably be using 2 hands, and I can tighten it down in whatever position I want. Awesome. This one I kind of tried to get fancy with, and basically instead of getting those carriage bolts, I should have gotten hex bolts. That would have been a better idea, because right now this is pretty much seized up on the other side. I tried to mount this little guy to it, which allows you to basically shift it back and forth. It's actually meant for focusing, but I realized that I had it, so I was like, oh, let me mount it up here. But now it's seized up, and it's just spinning on there, so I can still use it right now. I just have to keep it centered here so it won't spin. But yeah, that was kind of a fail. I gotta figure out how to get that off of there. If anyone has any ideas, let me know in the comments. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this garage work log. If you happen to be one of the few out there who prefers my garage work logs to my regular videos, I know there's a few of you, definitely hit the thumbs up button and let me know that you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Or if you just happen to like this video, you don't have to like it better than my other ones. Anyway, point being, leave me feedback. And also click links in the description. I put links to some of the stuff I used today. Thanks for watching as always, of course, and we'll see you next time.